Hey guys, the Firebird is here. It's just me, my brother couldn't be here today because, I don't know, he had to help Michael Bay fix the movies. There, that's the joke. Anyways, so minor spoilers for this video. It's another video talking about the Transformers War for Cybertron Netflix series, but unlike my previous two videos where I talked about the ending and all the characters that died in the series respectively, in this video, the only spoilers that you're gonna get is some minor character appearances that you probably didn't know about, some characters that appear on the show. And overall, the information that you see here is kind of, separated from the show itself. It's information related to the show, but it's nothing that will ruin the story of the experience of you watching it. So, you don't have to be concerned about that. It's really minor spoilers, so you can stay. Today, I'm talking about the third Cybertronian faction that we're going to be seeing in Earthrise, and we also see briefly in Siege, and that is the Mercenaries. Now, Mercenaries to Transformers is nothing new because we have seen plenty of mercenary characters in the past. Usually they're Decepticons like Animated Lockdown, Movie Lockdown, Comic Double Dealer, and so on. But recently, Hasbro Pulse had an interview with the executive producer of the War for Cybertron Netflix series, FG DeSanto. And in that small interview, he gave some extra context and some extra information about the mercenary faction that appear in Transformers Siege, as well as a few extra details as to what they're gonna do with them. Now, something that really interests me was that his whole reason for including the Mercenaries in Transformers Netflix was because the logo looked cool. That's actually not too far off from the typical Transformers fans' way of thinking. If something looks cool, they'll say it. If something doesn't look that interesting, they'll say it. So him and his team were invited to check out the toys that will inspire the series, and while they were doing it, they found the Mercenary logo that belonged to one of the Transformers that are listed to be mercenaries. And this got the team very interested and decided to include them as part of the Siege storyline. In the show itself, we do see mercenaries, and without spoiling much, we do see that they're mostly take a neutral role in the story. Like the name suggests, they're mercenaries, so they will fight and give information to whatever side pays them the most. They also seem to operate in the Cybertronian underground. They basically have their own little black market and sell and do trade with anyone as long as they get paid properly. So far, as far as we know, the only mercenaries that are part of the Siege franchise are Double Dealer and Snapdragon, who are part of the Earthrise toy line. Also, fun fact, Snapdragon hasn't gotten a toy in 30 years, and this is the first time in 30 years that he's getting anything, and that's wow. Exhaust, who recently got revealed to be part of the Generation Select's toy line. And then we got other mercenaries that are part of the Transformers trading card game, which is loosely connected to Siege, so take these with a grain of salt. We got Octone or Octane. This guy's name changes all the time, so don't get mad at me. I'm just reading it how it's spelled here. He's listed to be the Capricious Agitator, Lockdown, who's listed to be a bounty hunter, Nightbird, who's listed as the Enigmatic Agent, Mudflap, listed as Higher Muscle, Deadlock, listed as Soldier of Fortune, and Detritus, who's listed to be an arms dealer. As far as we know, all of these characters are part of the Mercenary faction. While it's still really unclear if we're gonna see any of these characters making appearances in the future Transformers series, being Kingdom and Earthrise, the producer of Siege did in fact confirm that there are more mercenaries scattered throughout the galaxy. So meaning that much like Movie Lockdown, who kinda goes to the galaxy, to the universe, looking for work and looking for Energon, that means that in the Siege timeline, the Autobots and Decepticons, as long as any other Cybertronians, such as mercenaries, are not restricted to be only on Cybertron, meaning that the events of the series, theoretically speaking, coincide more with the events of Fall of Cybertron, meaning that by this point, most of the Autobots have left Cybertron, a lot of Cybertronians have also left, and now all that's left on Cybertron itself are fighting for, survival and a chance to leave. this wasn't made very specific in the series itself as to whether there are more Autobots, or Cybertronians out there in the galaxy, but the director pretty much confirmed it. If there are mercenaries out there, then there are Autobots also out there, all trying to survive and find a new home, to basically find shelter and plan their next move. He also mentioned that we haven't seen the last of the mercenaries, meaning that they're not gonna be exclusive to the Siege series, so meaning that in Earthrise we might see more mercenaries appear and play a role in the series, since he did express that the mercenaries were probably his favorite addition to the War for Cybertron trilogy franchise. So far, the only two Earthrise toys that we have are Snapdragon and Double D, who are in fact confirmed to be mercenaries. So meaning that we're probably gonna find these two out there in space, maybe hunting the Autobots or maybe finding them on Earth, because we do know that the Autobots in fact make it to Earth. This of course opens the door for Lockdown to return, who's a fan favorite character, and I really hope he also comes back. He's also one of my favorite Decepticons of all time. And same thing goes for Sound Blaster, who I actually kinda like the fact that he was a mercenary in the Netflix series. Without spoiling what he ends up doing in the series, I thought his appearance was pretty well done, you know, it was decent. I feel like he could have done a bit more, but I'm pretty sure we haven't seen the last of Sound Blaster, because the director also said that even though we're moving away from Cybertron, we're still not going to, you know, be leaving Cybertron totally. So meaning that we're going to be checking out what the Autobots are doing basically on Earth, and checking out what the remaining Decepticons and Autobots are doing in Cybertron respectively. So which means that for Earthrise we're very likely to see Sound Blaster make a return, which I think that would be actually really cool. But yeah guys, minor video on the mercenaries and, you know, on some confirmations that the director of the series gave us. That we know that there's more Cybertronians away from Cybertron, and we know that the mercenaries are a thing. They're actually the third power in the series. We got the Autobots and the Decepticons, and then we got the more smaller faction being the mercenaries. But even them, it looks like they are not meant to be taken lightly, since a lot of these Transformers are known to be deadly and dangerous skilled operatives. And I think that the fact that these guys are mercenaries and don't really take a side in the war makes them a whole lot more interesting than both Autobots and Decepticons, because with these guys they can join any faction or side with whatever characters they feel like it, as long as they get paid. And it's not very convenient for both Autobots and Decepticons to get rid of them, because well, they will be wasting precious time and resources fighting them when they could be hiring them to fight for their own causes. So I think the mercenaries are a very interesting idea. I think they're a bit more dynamic and interesting than standard Decepticons and Autobots, and ever since Lockdown appeared in Age of Extinction, I always wanted to see more mercenaries that are independent from, you know, the war between the Autobots and Decepticons. So their inclusion in the series is very much appreciated. Let's just hope that this time around Lockdown doesn't have any trouble squashing a single human bug. But anyways guys, before we go, shout out to our patrons Morise Prime, Mateo, Mario Gordon, Christopher Prime, Stephanie Ballard, and the absolute madman himself, Jordan the Great, who donated $100. Thank you guys for donating, it's much appreciated. And if you guys want to donate to my Patreon, links will be in the description down below and in the comments down below. By donating to my Patreon, you get access to some of my videos early. You can request your own videos, you receive a shout out at the end of my videos, you can participate in some of my videos if you so choose, and you get a few previews of some of my new works that are currently in development. There are plenty of rewards that you get as a result of becoming one of my patrons, and I do plan to adding a few more in the future as time goes on and the patrons grow, but keep in mind that donating is entirely optional, because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Thank you to my patrons for donating, it's much appreciated. And if you guys want to donate, you know what to do. So yeah, thanks a lot guys. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. Bit of a short video today because, well, pretty self-explanatory, not much to talk about. And the mercenaries overall don't really have that much information about them. They're pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. But the small extra director details along with some of the members of the faction are probably something that you didn't know about. So I decided to make this video since we had all this information. I'm still gonna be making a couple of more Siege videos. So if you guys have any questions about the series or you guys would like me to cover a particular theme, let me know and, you know, I'll do my best to cover it whenever I get the time. So yeah, stay tuned because a lot of you guys have been begging me for the Infernicus video. So you know what I'm gonna do? double upload today. In about an hour, I'm gonna be uploading the Infernicus redesign, so, you know, look forward to that. Exactly 1 hour after this video gets released, I'm gonna be uploading that, so stay tuned. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully y'all enjoy. Let me know down below who's your favorite bounty hunter. Is it Lockdown, is it Snapdragon, Double Dealer? There's a lot of mercenaries throughout the Transformers franchise, so let me know which one's your favorite. Anyways, that's it for now guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe guys.